Alrighty, Lambo fans, I'm going to read off some Wikipedia. This is the retro-designed Countach LPI 800-4 limited production mid-engine hybrid electric sports car. Designed by the head designer of Lambo, Mitja Borkert, and it was unveiled in 2021, celebrating the 50 years of the original Countach. And it's based on the powertrain of the Cyan FKP 37. 112 units are planned. And it's basically a modern rendition of a classic car, classic awesome car. So this thing has let's see, 800 horsepower, all-wheel drive. The engine is a 6.5 liter V12, and the electric motor is only putting out, I believe, 34 horsepower. So it's somewhat of a hybrid, but 34 horsepower is not going to get you very far in a car like this. Let's see here. It says 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in around 2.8 seconds, and it goes up to 220 miles per hour, 355 kilometers per hour. So here, MiniGT, it's calling it, this color is New Giallo Orion. I was looking at photos. This car comes in crazy colors, so that's what I like about Lambo. They go for crazy. 733, that's a lot of MiniGTs if you want to collect them, but they are legit, you know, and they're not expensive compared to other, you know, 1/64 scale models, so it's a really great value. I think if you're brand new to collecting 1/64 scale stuff, MiniGT is where you should start. Don't waste money on the American brands with painted headlights and opening hood panels and all that weirdness. The only thing that's missing from a MiniGT is brake systems. You have to, you know, jump up a price range to get brakes, but I'm okay without seeing brakes, or I'll just add my own later. Alright, so good old yellow car here. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Countach, but definitely more modernized. I love this color. It's like a crazy, it looks like one of those Hot Wheels, those Super Treasure Hunts, whatever that, I forget what those colors are called, Spectre Flame or something. And it does retain the scissor doors of the original car as well. This one's got the rear wing in the up position. Okay. So let's see what MiniGT pulled off. I skipped the first wave because I think it was white, and I forget what the other color was, but I bought this locally and I saw a demo model and it's a metallic yellow. So I prefer metallics because it seems to resist paint rash more than a standard paint. So we're going to start with the front, I guess, today. So the Lambo badge seems okay. It's, let's see if I can focus it. It does look kind of like a bull and kind of like text. You can see my fingerprints, but yeah, so you can see the metal flake. It's not a hot rod flake, but it is definitely metallic. The headlight covers are clear, and this rectangular painting or something indicating the lights back there. They're very thin, okay? So there's a very thin amount of black paint here for this vent. That is a break. You know, the toothpick collides with it, so it's not just printed on a flat surface. I think you can see now how it dents in. And there's a little bit of a Countach printed there, or Countach if you want to pronounce it that way. So that's unexpected. A really fine print, very fine. Oh, wait a sec, that's a decal. Ugh. MiniGT usually has paint. But see, that's why you don't want decals. Later on, when this plastic film becomes hard, that's going to crack off. So I might take some decal softener and make that conform to the model better. In fact, why don't I just do a demonstration? Let's see if it works during this review. When I make models, I like this thing. It's called Mark Fit Super Strong by Tamiya. It's meant to make decals conform to the surface of things. So let's see if that works on this thing. Being super strong, hopefully it'll actually absorb in a few minutes, and we'll see if that thing, you know, sucks down a little bit better. I don't want to touch that stuff, but it doesn't seem to mess with paints, so that's good. In these vents, perfectly smooth. Maybe they're just open air on the real car. Yeah, that's going in quite a bit. Okay. Alright, going to the side. So, the tires look okay. There's a little bit of, tread showing, but it doesn't look like a truck tire, and it's got a rounded sidewall. The wheels are nicely molded, and they seem to have some silver around the rims, the lips of the thing, so that's really cool. But yeah, if you're really adamant on treads, it does have some. Also, it's telling you what the car is. I hope this is a trend to all late Mini GTs where it tells you what the car is. Historically, I have to complain because they're too lazy to tell you what the car is, but now I can pick it up and know this is a 2022 Countach. It is screwed together as well, so you can open up the interior and paint it or something, or swap out the wheels. It's a metal base. I'm not really a fan of that so much because you have less detail and it just makes the thing heavier. Okay, so a decal here again, unfortunately. You can just tell by the wrinkliness of this. I guess they weren't able to print into such a deep area. You have the styling house badge there. I doubt it's legible being so small, but at least there's some sort of indication of black text on a silver box. Or maybe it doesn't say it's not the styling house because it's designed by Lambo's styling team, right? I don't know what it's supposed to say there. So MiniGT has rubbery mirrors, which is great for longevity. It's not going to just snap off like typical plastic mirrors. We have the raised molding, painted black, looking good. There's also black paint in these vents. I think that is paint, not a decal. Going to the fuel filler here. I don't know if that's a tampo print. I think it is because it's relatively smooth. It doesn't have the wrinkliness of the carbon down there. Air pocket. Alright, this is, I'm guessing, paint as well. That's good. Alright, so let's see. There's a little silver painted there for the light there, and also on the front. I missed it the first time. What is that? Ooh, could be a contaminant. Going around to the back, we have some black here. It's a plastic. I don't know if it's an inserted plastic or if it's part of the inside piece. I don't know. This is plastic as well. Good texture. Nice clear taillights, and then Lamborghini is printed there. That seems good enough. Black tailpipes are molded nicely, even though it's part of this metal base. Okay. Is there silver here? No, wait, or is that the light reflecting? It's just the light reflecting when I look at it with the naked eye. This side here, yeah, the silver is printed nice. Oh, maybe we can, no, I don't know, maybe that says 800, Countach, maybe it says Countach. I missed this. There's some sort of vent here, and they seem to have a decal, so I guess that's alright. I would have preferred paint. And there, that looks printed nicely as well. Alright, going to the engine cover. So it's clear, the blackout is printed okay, not quite enough right there, but you can see the engine through it, and it's got multiple colors, so that's nice. Alright, my fingerprints there. A little bit of a contaminant there on the roof, unfortunately. There's only one fuel filler, okay. You can see that arrowhead styling of the newer Lambos. Now this is tampo printed because it's such a open surface, so this is nice to see. That's what I'm used to from the brand. I guess I just can't get the tampo pad into this recess, so that's why it's a decal. I wonder if the outside though, this is actually tampo printed, so this is a separate piece, and there's a decal going behind it. I wonder if there's a texture in that vent. I have a feeling it's just smooth, or actually I can see the decal terminating there, I think. So you probably don't want to go picking at it, it might come loose. These are really shallow windows. I can see a steering wheel. I don't know if we're going to see much of the interior through molded windows, but well, you can. Hollow steering wheel looks good, molded dashboard, some controls there in the middle looks alright. Passenger side, not much, being a passenger seat. Some sort of rectangular quilting on the seats. Maybe, no, nothing on the headrest. There's no rear view mirror. I don't know, maybe the car doesn't have it, maybe it's cameras or something. Alright, well, that's a good enough interior for me. And looking at the photos, they're primarily black interiors it seems, so I don't feel a need to repaint it. Let's see if that decal softener did anything. Oh, you see what's happening? it's starting to wrinkle. So later on, that should flatten out as it dries. So it's not going to end up looking like that. I'm going to put a little more on and actually probably put some into the side vents. Just to hopefully eliminate any of those air pockets. Alright. Yeah, so if you're new to collecting, just be mindful. Decals, they're not the greatest. You know, they're thin films of plastic, and plastic that thin will harden. And if it's not under a clear coat, it's going to crack off. If you watch my review of the Stratos review of MiniGT, I literally pick away at a decal, but actually in a good way. You'll have to watch that review. Let's look at a few other Lambos. So the first ones are by Kyosho. Here's the first Lambo, LP400. So very smooth design, no fender flares. This is the LP500. I believe it came out in 1976. So now you got the arrowhead like wing and the fender flares and all that stuff. The epitome of the Countach for me is the 80s. So this is an 85 to 87, the LP5000S. Okay. And then there's this one, which is an 88 version, the last legs of it, the 25th anniversary. So they have like the Testarossa strakes, which are fashionable in the mid 80s, I guess. And this one doesn't have a rear wing, but you can see some paint rash. So diecasts tend to get paint rash, I find. It's not good. But the Kyoshos are cheap models, like $6 back when they were new, I think. And then here's the MiniGT of that Cyan FKP that this car is based upon. Unfortunately, they don't tell you that, right? So I really appreciate the newer text on this one, so I can pick it up and know what I'm holding in my hand instead of just saying that's a green car. So you can definitely see the resemblance going on here, like the window cutouts, just the proportions, obviously. But I gotta give credit, you know, the front end does look like a Countach, not like that funkiness. And then also the rear end is quite significantly different as well from the Cyan. So I believe the internet's saying this car is like $2.7 million. I forget how much that was, but I'm sure it was an excessive amount. But you can see modern cars, how much bigger they get due to crash safety standards and all the electronics and all that stuff they have to jam into modern vehicles. You know, I didn't even notice that this is all carbon back here. Let me just show you that. It just looked black from the side view. But from the top view, there's a printed carbon texture there, right? That's really cool. But I didn't even see it when I was reviewing it here. It's just black down here. I guess it's better to have it on one surface than none. And it's paint, it's not a decal, so that's good. Alright, well, anyways, you got the size, you know, gets bigger over time. I still like the Kyoshos. By modern standards, they're not so great, but I think of it by the standards of it when it was first released. And I kind of feel, since Kyosho pretty much abandoned 164, that MiniGT is today's Kyosho. You're getting a lot of cool looking model for not a super amount of money. The only thing missing is brakes. If somehow this brand could add brake systems to these things and keep the price the same, they would put out so many companies out of business, I think. You know, they would literally put all the $20 models, $25 models out of business, I think. So I think it's nice. Okay, well, this is a funky model. I assume, well, no, I know I prefer the original design. I think it was Gandini that designed this, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's just so over the top, it's ridiculous, you know. It's just random bits sticking out here and there, and it's just so aggressive. And clearly this looks like it, but it's so clean. It's so sterile. It does actually look like a Volkswagen product to me as well. Anyhow, we'll see you in the next MiniGT video. Thanks for watching today.